Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA, and we are in Edison, New Jersey, a city in New Jersey known for great food. Here's the catch though, Edison, New Jersey is mostly known for Asian foods, particularly Indian food, but also Chinese food and even Korean food. However, we're at a place here in Edison that I hear is a must try, an amazing Jewish deli called Harold's New York Deli. Now, if you see the location of this Jewish deli, it really says something about the place that it's been in business for so long. It's on the side of a busy highway, a pretty noisy highway, and it's behind two hotels, all the way tucked in the corner of this plaza. You really gotta know what you're looking for. But as you can see, we came on an off-peak time on a weekday, right after the lunch rush, and there's still a pretty large amount of people eating here, so that really says something about this place. And they have a really large parking lot, so you know that they usually expect a lot of customers, probably over the weekend and in evenings. Now, what makes this place, Harold's New York Deli, special is that the people who opened this place apparently used to work at the famous and iconic Carnegie Deli, which unfortunately has closed after a really long run. For a while, the debate was between which deli is better, Carnegie Deli or Katz Deli. But now that Carnegie Deli is gone, Katz is kind of the undisputed king of New York. With its association though with Carnegie Deli, my expectations are pretty high now. I mean, some people say that this place is amazing, and some people say it's even better than Katz Deli. And you know, I've never been to Carnegie Deli before, but I hear that those sandwiches are sky high. They're supposed to be massive sandwiches. So I'm starving and I can't wait, so come on, let's go eat. So we are now inside the famous Harold's New York Deli, not in New York, but in Edison, New Jersey. And this is a really cool place. It really has like an old school vibe. You really do sort of feel like you're in like a New York Jewish deli, but without that slightly off-putting touristy feel to it. So it really feels more like a neighborhood restaurant. The place has a really cool vibe. When we walked in, they had like a little intro room with some of their accolades on it, and I had no idea that Man vs. Food had actually came here. I used to be a big fan of that show. I also did want to point out one thing that I kind of find interesting, being that Edison is really a diverse town. It's a very heavy Asian population, particularly Indian and Chinese and Korean as well. And here in Harold's Deli, I don't see a single Asian person here, which is kind of interesting, so could be a sign of its authenticity, if you know what I mean. So let me just show you the menu. I took a peek at it earlier, but their menu is just ginormous. Just look at this. It doesn't fold just twice, it folds like 4 times. And they have like just so many options, so many of your typical Jewish deli classics. Matzo ball soup, very tempting. We may not have room for it today, maybe next time. A whole smoked fish section. I wonder if they have gefilte fish here, not sure if they will. I know that's not for everyone. And of course a ton of sandwiches, aka heroes. Where I'm from, they call them hoagies. But we are really here for their classic sandwiches. Everyone says that you gotta go with corned beef and pastrami, and they even specifically advertise their pastrami as world famous pastrami. We're gonna definitely get a pastrami because, you know, I can't go to one of these delis without getting pastrami or corned beef or both. A little bit pricey, but about the same as New York prices, unfortunately. In addition to the pastrami, they do have a lunch special since we are here during off-peak weekday time. So these are paninis for 20 bucks with fries. So we're also gonna get one of these lunch specials, and we're gonna do corned beef for this panini. So let's order. But we cannot forget an egg cream. Alright, now shortly after I ordered, pretty much all our food arrived and the egg cream came first. So fast that I didn't even get to really film a transition. But just look at how foamy this egg cream head is, and it's served in like a frosted glass. Nothing to it but to try it. You know, I don't usually like the chocolate ones. I feel like the chocolate ones sometimes are a little bit too artificial, ice cream syrupy in taste. I usually much prefer vanilla, even though chocolate is more traditional. But I like this a lot. This tastes like a chocolate milk in soda form. Excellent, and dare I say, the humongous size. And this was the small too. Wow, so we got all our food all at once, and everything came so fast. We were gonna get up and try the pickle bar. We might have to try that at the end, because I was not not expecting all the food to come as quickly as it did. We also decided to get a hot dog. We saw lots of people eating these ginormous hot dogs. I've never seen a hot dog this big in my life, so I just knew I had to try this. This is the corned beef panini that Tina ordered with fries, and the fries look golden and fluffy. I've never quite eaten corned beef in panini form, so this will be fun. But yeah, I mean, this pastrami is the star of the show. I mean, I just can't go to a Jewish deli without getting a pastrami sandwich. It's one of my favorite things in the world to eat. Just at first glance, this pastrami looks pretty good, although it's definitely different from Katz's. The Katz's pastrami is more thick cut. This pastrami is definitely more thin. Like, yeah, as you can see, it's definitely more thinly sliced, which, you know, may not be a bad thing. It might come apart more easily in your mouth when it's thinner, but I love that thick cut Katz's pastrami, and you know their pastrami is tender when they have the confidence to cut it thickly like that. So, can't wait to try this. Let's try this amazing pastrami sandwich, which some people claim is superior to Katz's. Hard to find a point of entry. Let's nibble some of these pieces off first. Oh wow. Even just nibbling off some of the excess bits just to give us a point of entry, those bits were just so fatty and just melt right in your mouth. Guys, we're off to a pretty good start. Oh wow. Now, you know it's a good sandwich when I've already eaten like 2/3 of it before I'm even about to give my commentary. This is an excellent sandwich, I gotta say. Very, very good, very tender, deliciously fatty. It's got an interesting seasoning as well, like a very different seasoning from all the pastramis I've had. I can't really detect a flavor. It almost sort of tastes like garlic powder, but not in like a cheap way. And this seeded rye bread, a great touch. I love that they offer seeded rye bread. I think at Katz's Deli they only offer non-seeded rye bread, and their bread is kind of mid, if I can be honest. But their bread here is like the perfect bread. One of the best parts is you still have some of the charred bits in there too from the edges, which add like a smoky, charred taste and texture as well. Unfortunately, I never got to eat the original Carnegie Deli, but I believe them that this is a successor to that place because this is just amazing. Before I finish this last bite, just look at how deliciously pink it is on the inside. And you know what? I am a dum-dum. I didn't even put mustard on it. I was just content eating it as is, but the mustard, I didn't realize that I had to apply this myself. I guess let's just dip it like a chicken tender. Alright, let's see if the mustard really kicks it up a notch. Really good mustard. Great smoky flavor, spicy, not overly so. You're not feeling it too much in your nose. It's like the perfect spice level. Although I almost prefer eating the pastrami without it. It does slightly overpower how good the pastrami is. So it's up to you. I mean, if you use it more conservatively. Don't use so much like I just did. But I gotta say, guys, that was an excellent sandwich. And I still have a whole second half left. But we gotta save some stomach, and we gotta save one half for Tina. Let's move on to this ginormous hot dog. Oh yeah, with a straight pastrami on it. Don't worry, no man left behind. Let's move on to this massive hot dog. I mean, this hot dog is so big, it was orbiting the Earth, and Neil Armstrong actually took a spaceship to it and put an American flag on it to prove that he had, you know, stepped foot on this hot dog. That's just how big this hot dog is. So, first let's take a bite just of the dog itself and see how it tastes on its own. Oh man, people talk about like the Costco hot dog as being huge and a great value. Just look at this hot dog. It's literally the length of my head. And no, look, I'm not pulling any camera gimmicks or anything. Whoa. Wow, and maybe a hot dog It may just be like a preserved, I guess you would say relatively cheap sausage, but I almost feel like this is the way hot dogs should taste. Like maybe back in the day, hot dogs were higher quality even if they were lower quality than sausages. Like it's got that hot dog taste that we all know and love, while the casing, it's like sausage quality delivery with hot dog taste on the inside. And I love it. Due to my brief stint in Chicago, I was, you might say, brought up to believe that mustard is the only thing to put on a hot dog and ketchup is basically blasphemy to put on a hot dog. No offense to people who like it, but I might just have bias from living in Chicago. That's just what I was told. So let's try a bite of the hot dog with some mustard. And some sauerkraut. The hot dog itself is amazing. As covered earlier, the mustard is great too. And the sauerkraut, I get the feeling that it's pretty fresh and it's got some good flavor. Unfortunately, I do gotta say that I am not the biggest fan of this bread. Like when I only ate the hot dog itself, I was a big fan. But unfortunately, this bread is a little bit too thick. And when they toasted it, it gets almost like a little bit hard. So it's a little bit too thick. It's not quite pillowy and squishy enough. Just look at how dry and overly toasted this bread is. Right? Like when you see it kind of crumbling apart like that, you kind of just end up eating some tough starch that's harder to chew and it kind of masks the flavor of everything else you're eating. So next up, let's try the corned beef panini. And I've never had corned beef in panini form, but this looks pretty good. All right, corned beef panini. Once again, my stance on the bread remains the same. In this case, this bread is also too thick for me. I like the idea, but I think it's a little bit thick and a little bit hard. And I can't even taste a corned beef, if I can be honest. Let's just try it as is. That corned beef is excellent. It's fatty, it's tender, it's got great color, it really is seasoned well, and just look at it. Just look at how easily it comes apart. Like, just look. Look at how easily it comes apart, just like that. So, if you come here, I highly recommend the corned beef, just not in panini form. Just get a normal corned beef sandwich on rye, and you're gonna have a great time. Now it's time for me to make a decision. Do I prefer this place to Katz Deli? I don't know. I like both of them. They're both great, and it's really hard to pick one that I like more. I guess I will say that at Katz Deli, a lot of their menu items I find to be a little bit more consistent, like there's more hits and less misses. So based on that alone, I would say overall I probably prefer Katz's, but this pastrami is a different story. This is getting really, really hard to evaluate. Both pastramis are fatty and tender, have great color, come apart in your mouth, and they're both generally pretty large. So, you know what? I am gonna say that I still prefer Katz's to this, just because Katz's, when you eat it, you really get that wow factor. You really get that amazing burst of fattiness, and I've never had anything like Katz's when I eat it. And also at Katz's, it's kind of cool to see them slice it for you, so there's that aspect as well. This is still a very good pastrami and rye sandwich, and on top of that, this one is also, while still fatty, it's not quite as greasy and oily as Katz's, so it really just comes down to what you prefer and what you're feeling on any individual day. Before we go, we gotta try one more thing. This place apparently has a pretty famous pickle bar, so let's go try that real quick. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna eat here before we hit the road are their pickles. And their complimentary pickle bar here is really well regarded. Let's see how these pickles are. This is really good. Now they just label this as like health salad, and this is really nice to eat, especially after that meaty, oily meal. It's like a nice healthy salad that's also pickled to add even more health benefits to it. So highly recommend this. Now this looks just like your normal kosher dill pickle. Wow, that is not what I was expecting. Yeah, I thought this was just gonna be like an average dill pickle that's just sliced, but it has like some spice in it, like some hot peppers in it. Oh wow. If only all pickles were like this, life would be great. Oh, that is like the best pickle I've ever had. Is this a long version of said spicy pickles? Okay, so this is just a normal pickle, but it's good. It's a well-made one. And lastly, the half sour. These don't really taste like half sours. They taste more like 2/3 sours or something like that. They're a little bit more sour and pickly than your normal half sour, but I really enjoy this, and this pickle probably goes down the easiest without too much vinegar flavor in a nice refreshing way. But yeah, anyways guys, I think that's gonna be it for this video. Harold's New York Deli has always been on my mind. It's always popped up on the top of lists of the best Jewish delis to eat at, and it really says something if, despite the fact that it's in New Jersey and not New York, that people think that it holds a candle to the legendary Katz Deli. But yeah, anyways, we're gonna wrap up here and then we're gonna hit the road. So if you've been to Harold's before, let me know what you think in the comments, or if you have another Jewish deli that you prefer anywhere in the US or even the world, let me know in the comments, because great minds eat alike. If you like my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. Until next time, I'll see you later.